and let's make some chin together. I made this chin for an event and I want to share the recipe and the process with you all my family members. This chin recipe is so delicious, crunchy, and it will also melt easily in your mouth. So here are the overview of all the ingredients I'll be using. I have my flour. I've sieved my flour already and I have 1 pint or 3 kg of flour. I also have my sugar. I also have my egg. I will also be using milk flavor, and that's my milk flavor. I have my baking powder. I have some liquid milk I'll be using. Then I'll also be using my flavor. I have my powdered milk I'll be using, and as well I'll be using some margarine, and this is the margarine I'll be using, and also I'll be using some nutmeg. So these are my nutmeg. I'll start by combining all my ingredients together. So I'll start by combining all the dry ingredients together. So for my dry ingredients, I'm going to go ahead and add my sugar and I'll mix that together. After that, I'll go ahead and add my baking powder. For my baking powder, I sieve in my baking powder. So make sure when you are adding your own baking powder too, you sieve it. After sieving my baking powder, the next thing I'll be adding now is my powdered milk. Next I'll be adding now is my milk flavor. After adding my milk flavor, I'm going to grate my nutmeg. So once I finish grating my nutmeg, I'm just going to mix all that together. So once I mix all that together, the next thing I want to add now is my margarine. So for my margarine, I use 3 sachets of margarine for 1 pint of flour. So the next thing I'll be doing, I'll start by mixing my margarine and the flour together so that everything is going to mix very well and well combined. I'm going to go ahead and add a pinch of salt and I'm going to mix all that together. So after adding in your margarine and all your dry ingredients, this is what it should look like when you mix everything very well. So I set that aside. Then the next thing, I'm going to prepare my wet ingredients. So for my wet ingredients, I'm going to start by cracking my egg inside my bowl. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my liquid milk. In a case you are not using the powdered milk I used earlier, you are going to be using 3 cups of liquid milk. Then after that, I add my water. Then once I finish adding my water, I'm going to go ahead and add my flavor. Remember that we are preparing our wet ingredients separately. So once I add my flavor, I'm going to mix all this together. You make sure that you mix everything together until it is well combined. Now that my wet ingredients and dry ingredients is ready, I'm going to combine everything together. So you pour your wet ingredients inside your dry ingredients and you start mixing. So if you cannot mix this process with your hand, I would advise you get a stand mixer and use a stand mixer to mix it, because this process is very stressful and you have to mix everything very well. You have to mix everything until it is well combined. I'm going to go ahead and transfer this on my work surface. Then I'll start kneading this together. I'm going to knead all this very well until everything forms and it starts to combine together. If you have a stand mixer, I would advise you use a stand mixer for this process if you cannot knead this with your hand. Can you see that everything have started to come together? So at this point, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to transfer this back to my bowl. Then I'll start taking this little by little that I can knead very well again. Then I'll start working with this little by little according to my strength that I can use to knead. So that is what I'm doing now. Then I'll knead it very well again to form a dough before I start rolling it out. Now I'll start to roll out my chin and I'm going to roll this out. It's going to be very thin and very flat. You don't have to let your chin to be too bulky when you are rolling it out. Once you roll it out, then you go ahead and cut your chin. For this my chin recipe, when you start cutting it, you will notice that you don't need any excess flour to roll it or to cut it. Everything is going to come out easily and it is never going to stick together. Once I finish cutting my chin, I'm going to put this inside my tray, and inside that tray I've sprinkled a little bit of flour. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the same process to cut the rest of the chin. So I always advise you finish cutting your chin before you start frying it. If you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, because on my YouTube channel I share amazing recipe that you are definitely going to love. And once you subscribe, please don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that when next I drop a new video, you will be notified. So I have this ebook titled Baking to Perfection. It contains different kind of amazing cake recipe that you are definitely going to love. It also contains different kind of cake frozen that you can use for your cake. I also have my room temperature water whipping cream that is very stable that you can use for your cake. If you are interested in getting this ebook, click the link in the description to get a copy for yourself. After cutting my chin, this is what I have. My chin is ready for frying. I've preheated my oil and I also had some onions for flavor. So the next thing I'm going to do is to start adding my chin and I'll start frying this. Once I fry this to a golden brown like this, I'm going to take it out from the oil. So, and that is how to fry chin. So I'm going to repeat the same process to fry the rest of the chin. So that is what I'm doing. I'm adding another batch and I'm going to fry again until I finish frying all the chin. So my beautiful family members, my chin is ready and this is what I have. Can you see how lovely the chin is? You see, this chin recipe is crunchy and yet it will still melt in your mouth. If you are looking for a chin that melts in your mouth, this is the recipe you should go for. You can store this in an airtight container or you package it like this for commercial purpose. My beautiful people, till I come your way in my next video, keep believing in yourself. Bye bye guys.